Day one, I have to go to class. I don't speak English. I was looking at the map, not understand anything. The driver is asking me, where are you going? I was, giving him kind of sign language. I literally spent around 1 hour until I got to the classroom somehow, some way. And at that moment, I just decided that I need to get through it. Try to have all of the courage that you ever could have. Talk to people. The way I'd like to look at being a leader is to be providing a service to the team members, a service to the stakeholders that you deal with.
Welcome to another episode of Masters Unplugged. Our today's guest embodies leadership and transformation in its purest form. Imagine arriving in a new country, not knowing a single word of English, and then just few years later, leading an organization of over 7,000 international students as its president. Well, that's exactly what Naif did. From his early student leadership journey at Michigan State University to his current role as head of direct transport customer experience at Maersk Saudi Arabia area, Naif's story is one of resilience, service, and growth. His former mentor once said, and I quote, "If you ever meet Naif, he will change your life in a beautiful, positive way." Well, today, let's exactly see why. Naif, welcome to Masters Unplugged. It's a real honor to have you in my show. Before we dive in, how's your day going so far?
Well, first off, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here with you, Khalik. My day was so far so good. Knowing that I'm going to be doing this, I just wanted to make sure that I clear my mind, went to the gym, got in a good kind of state of mind so that I can be ready for this with you today.
Awesome. So you did gym today as
I
well
did
on
gym
your off
today.
day.
Exactly. I usually do it, yani.
Okay.
Um, on the weekend mainly.
Okay.
That's when I get the free time. So
Perfect. Naif, so take us back as early as school days. What motivated you to go to US to pursue higher education?
so I was born and raised in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Halfway elementary school, I discovered that I had a lot of passion for sports in general, which then my dad thought of taking me to a club, just, a club with membership that you would go to and clear your energy. When we are young, we have a lot of, energy that we need to kind of let out. So I got into this club. It was in Jeddah, and I started playing sports, all kinds of sports. I was playing taekwondo. I was, swimming, playing basketball, football, and almost everything. Right. So I very much loved it, and from there onwards, I got stuck with one particular sport, and that was football. I got attached to it,
Okay.
and I started, investing a lot of time in it, improving my skills and trying to get as better as possible. Until one day we had a tournament. The people who discover talents, they were watching this tournament, and one person approached and he was like, I think you can join the Ahli club.
Wow. An alley club is quite big.
Exactly, yeah. So I was like, okay, I think I would definitely be interested in doing that.
Wow.
So when I spoke to my father about it,
Uh-huh.
because I had to take his permission for
Of
that.
course.
My father is hardcore Ittihadi. So
Okay.
when I approached him and I told him I want to do that, he said, let's do Ittihad instead. So he said, leave that up to me. He was well connected to people within the sports kind of industry, entertainment, and a lot of other industries within the country, I would say. So he said, let's go and try for Ittihad. And he took me over there. And I thought, knowing that he's connected, that he would just simply, get me in. But in fact, that was not the case. When we went there, I found myself sitting just with everyone else who goes for the tryouts, right? And I was very young. I think I was 12 years old. I
Wow,
was
that
not,
young.
yeah. So I went there, sat waiting for my turn to get into the field and play. And I started playing, and we go through different kind of matches.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I was selected.
Wow.
So that made me very happy. And at that age, I continued with Ittihad, so I became basically an official Ittihad players, and I also went for the Ministry of Sports to kind of give the stamp and become a registered Ittihad
Athlete.
player. Yeah.
Okay.
Since then, I continued playing football, or soccer. So my entire life was circled around literally playing soccer in Ittihad, um, going back. So basically, 2 hours a day used to be our practice, um, every day
Mm-hmm.
except for Friday. So 6 days a week. Usually during the weekends, we play the games. So I would go finish practice, go home around 9, 10. I would be sleeping, waking up, going to school. So school back then was for me just to make sure that my father is not, my parents, yeah, they're not kind of upset that I'm just investing all of my time in sports and not
Okay.
giving the attention to school.
I wanted to ask, so when you were selected at the age of 12 for Etihad, was it the like a full team player, or was it like a junior kind of a club and then you get promoted to ranks? How was it like?
So yeah, so you basically, back then they used to kind of keep um people who were young between 12, I would say, maybe to 15 in a
Mhm.
group
Yes.
who practice together.
Okay.
And then when you grow older, you basically
Join the.
qualify and join the other groups who are older, and you continue kind of accelerating until you reach to the age where you either qualify to play for the first team,
Okay.
or you just get disqualified, or maybe you decide to just walk away.
And the kind of rigorous training you went through, I'm sure if you're playing for a professional football club like Etihad, I can only imagine that you had to go to a school and then you had to do a rigorous training as a proper athlete who is registered with Ministry of Sports. It requires a lot of time and a mental
Absolutely.
strength.
Yeah, it was not easy, but you can imagine, actually, I used to enjoy it a lot.
Okay.
Looking back to that time, I miss every single moment I had, uh, because I was doing something I enjoyed.
Okay.
Very much, it was a passion.
Yes.
So until I was around 18 years old, that was basically me graduating from high school and entering into the college era,
Yeah.
or phase. At that time, during 2010-11, there was not a lot of focus on sport. Comparing that to today, how things are, and
Yeah.
how a lot of the focus is going towards sports and entertainment, which also makes me very much proud and happy to see that happening.
Yes.
But back then, that was not the case. So my father had a serious, conversation with me at that time, because it was a turning point. Either
Yeah.
you continue doing what you love, risking that you might not make it and then
Okay.
end up nowhere, or you kind of swallow it and do something that you never expected to do. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing it, because I was very much invested. I was
You're almost there.
I knew I was gonna do it. He did not see it, because he was very much also well aware of what that environment is. I didn't mention this, but for some time, my father was also um, representing Al Ittihad as a vice president
Okay.
during one of the years. So he was very much aware of what that is and what it could lead to.
Okay.
And that's how he came to me and he said, this is not going to be good for you. Since then, I just decided not to go to Etihad. It is what it is. It meant to happen.
Yeah.
And I thought at that moment, I was still kind of ignorant to the fact that this happened. And I kept playing
Denial.
in denial mode because I have the passion for the sport. So I kept playing and I kept doing what I love until it hit me, until I realized that until when you will do this, you need to get your life together. You need to decide now. And
Yes.
at that point of time, I realized that I think I should just go for that. It would make my, family proud. Even though knowing that, going to the US, I did not have any clue what that would turn out to be. So at the time, my cousin was helping me out with the paperwork and the visa application and whatnot. And I went to the US literally not knowing what the future looks like for me. I went zero English because obviously in school I was a good student, but back then there was not focus on English in English language in school.
So, what was it like arriving there not knowing any English? I mean, it must have bothered you a lot during the initial days. So, tell us about your initial days.
It was not easy, Khalid. I can tell you. I mean, it's easier said than done now because I've already gone through it and I'm here now. During the flight, I was with my cousin and I had my all of my papers, my passport, and as soon as we got to DC, waiting at the airport for the second flight to take us to Michigan State.
Okay.
So when I went there, I forgot my passport at the terminal.
Oh my God.
I went on the plane to go to Michigan State, and they started calling my name. And then the flight attendant came in, and she was like, "Is this your passport?" I was like, "Yeah, this is it." My cousin was pissed off because we literally have not arrived yet, and I'm already
Losing your passport.
I'm already screwing things up. He's not happy with that because now he felt like he's gonna be dealing with this now, and we're still not yet there to be. Obviously, going to the US, you're gonna be going through a lot of registrations,
Yeah.
transactions. I don't speak, so he's gonna be speak on my behalf.
So,
So
you
he-
were kind of carefree.
Yeah, he it hit him, and he was like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna deal with a lot of incidents."
So, he
Now
realized
that
that
this is happening.
I have to babysit Naif.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, exactly. So you can imagine how difficult it was. It was. When I went there, I initially registered for the English courses,
Okay.
not the university. So on day one, I was on campus, and my cousin told me, now you need to sort of sail through this and experience.
Blend in.
Yeah, blend in. Day one, I have to go to class. I don't speak English. Okay. So he gave me the map. The campus was huge. I took the map from him. So I went down Michigan State during the springtime. That's when I started back in 2012. It was freezing cold.
Okay.
It was winter.
From
snowing.
desert to freezing cold.
Yeah. So that was the first cultural shock, I would say,
Okay.
right? Now, I was supposed to be taking the bus because he told me, take the nearest bus. There are bus stops
Yeah.
everywhere. You take the bus and try to find out how to get to the classroom.
Okay.
So I was looking at the map, not understand anything. The driver is asking me, where are you going? I was, giving him kind of sign language. I was stuck. I literally spent around 1 hour until I got to the classroom somehow, some way.
Okay.
And that was it. And fast forward to when I went to the dorm, first day alone in my room. At night, I was getting ready for bed. My roommate was approaching. He came inside. He was American. And the lights were on. and I was getting ready for bed. Then he came in. He was obviously trying to speak to me, right? To introduce himself, expecting me to introduce myself to him as well. So it was a, do they call it a bunker bed?
Yeah,
Yeah,
bunk beds.
yeah, bunk beds. So I was at the top, and he was at the bottom. When he came in, he looked at me. I was like at the top, looking down at him, and he said, he said something like, "How are you? What's your name?" Something like that. I could not answer that. I just didn't know what to tell,
Oh my
and I
God.
started, doing again the sign stuff. And then he figured it out. He said like, "No, okay, this guy can't talk, so let me just also help him." He was very nice, honestly.
Yeah.
One of the people who actually supported me and helped me to sort of improve my English and whatnot. So he said, can I turn off the lights?" He was asking for permission. So I told him like this. So he just turned it off and went to bed. And that was the first day.
Wow.
I can't even forget that day because how tough it was for
Yes.
me. I had to go through days where I was almost giving up.
Yes.
I felt like because I never knew that there was something called homesick
Yes.
or cultural shock. All of these things I got to learn
Experienced first
and
hand.
experience in the US. And being competitive, you don't want to lose. And for me, giving up at that point was a lose.
Yes.
It was going to be looked at as someone who's just losing,
Yeah.
coming back with nothing.
Yeah.
You have not achieved anything, and that's it. At that point and at that moment, I just decided that I need to get through it. Try to have all of the courage that you ever could have to sail through it and get through it. Talk to people.
Yes.
Don't talk to the people who talk your language.
Yes.
Blend in with people. Make mistakes. If I do make mistakes, at the end of the day, it's part of the experience, right?
Yes.
And at the end of the day, I'm here for a purpose to finish my studies and come back home. Fast forward 2013, I started my freshman year. And that was altogether another challenge because English courses are just English courses versus academic classes where you actually start taking computer science engineering, biology, and all of the terminologies that I've never seen before. Uh, so it was tough. Uh, and I failed. First semester, I actually did not get good scores because of the English struggle,
Yes.
getting used to the academic classes and all of that. So it was not easy. I failed. But then second semester is when I said, okay, you should learn from the mistakes you made in that semester and do better.
I just wanted to ask you, what point of time was it that you realized that you can lead an international student organization?
I started getting involved in the student club activities. I think that was my sophomore year because my freshman year, I wanted to kind of focus on getting through classes. So sophomore year is when I started having the interest of getting involved. And that started with the Saudi student organization. I loved how, these student clubs are giving back to the community of students in a way where they're holding events that are educational. And that's where I started developing this passion to be part of uh, this area on campus within college. I initially was the treasurer of the Saudi student organization. I did not like that role.
Okay.
And then eventually, after holding events and whatnot, I started also getting introduced to other student clubs. I always had that curiosity to learn from different cultures and different backgrounds. Because if I go back and I remind you that I said I wanted to make the most out of that experience, this is what I mean by that.
Yeah.
I wanted to literally blend in and experience it So I left the Saudi student organization after spending some time there, and I joined different organizations um, until I found the International Student Organization, and the ISA, also known as the International Student Association, is is basically a representation of all of the international students on campus. Uh, and it made me feel like, okay, this is nice, because now you're not only representing one country, but the entire international students.
So you went on to become the president of International Student Association, which represented over 7,000 students. That's quite huge. What was your proudest moments during that tenure?
So I started initially being part of the International Student Association. I was the public relations officer, and I loved it, because the things that they used to do were very much impactful and big on its scale within campus, because it represents the entire international students. And that's where I started getting attracted to becoming one, to become that representation who can influence, who has influence, and maybe can also be the voice of all international students. I felt like getting on that role will expose me to do things that are more challenging as well.
Mm.
So then I decided to, after some time spending as a public relation officer, applying for the president.
Wow.
And that itself was actually, if I link this back to that moment,
Yeah.
it was the proudest moment,
Yes.
because I I was able to reflect where I was and
Mm.
how far I have come, right?
Absolutely.
And it was itself something rewarding to eventually find out that I was elected to
Yes.
become the president. And at that moment, at that age, it felt something, and I
Yes.
loved that sense of achievement.
Perfect. So, Naif, after USA, coming back to Saudi Arabia, beginning of your corporate career, where did you start, and what were all those learnings that you had, not only in your athletic career or when you were an athlete, but also gaining so much international exposure and international experience of studying and leading the organizations, and then starting a career from scratch back in Saudi Arabia? So, what was this transition like? Where did you start, and how was the process?
When I graduated, it was at the peak of all of the transformations that you see in the country. So
Yeah.
it was very much encouraging for me to just come back
Yeah.
and be part of it, be part of that
Growth
that
story.
growth, and that transformation that makes every single Saudi proud today.
Awesome.
So I came back fresh, not knowing what to expect. Started applying for jobs. Think I graduated in May 2017, and after applying to so many companies, I was able to get my first job in September. So it was like few months after I graduated.
Okay.
It was in Ismail Abu Dawood. It's a known distributor locally.
Yes.
And I started as a sales section manager, they called him. It was interesting. It was uh, filled with a lot of challenges, because you need in one day to visit multiple stores and make sure that the back door is full of stock, because that should not be impacted, and none of these stores should run out of stock. And unlock new opportunities as well, if possible, even if it's overstocked. Some of those products were fast moving, and they had to be kind of pitched and whatnot. uh, it was not a long time. It was 6 months, but I can tell you that I got a lot of exposure out of that, until You know, I came to know about Maersk, and knowing that Maersk is a multinational company, I thought that this would be the right place for me, and linking that to also the interest I had during college when it comes to the major that I wanted to really get involved in was supply chain management, and it felt like this is the right choice for me. So after spending few 6 months in Abu Dhabi, I changed career.
Awesome. So, Naif, you started at Maersk in 2018, and you have held several different roles in customer experience within Maersk. And then you have become, Alhamdulillah, head of direct transport customer experience. What is, in your opinion, one thing that differentiate a great CX leader from the rest?
The way I'd like to look at being a leader is to be providing a service to the team members, a service to the stakeholders that you deal with, and you always need to have that influential touch wherever you go, and uh, whatever kind of interaction you have with people.
Perfect. So leadership, of course, is a big responsibility, and it is also very much a task that you have to do in a manner that actually empathizes with your teammates, and also being responsible for their mental health. At the end of the day, I
Absolutely.
think they are reporting to you. Their mental health is also very important. So, with that, how do you motivate and develop your team? So, what's your philosophy around that?
Motivation is about, first you have to be self motivated, because just linking this to my career journey from the start to where I am, if you rely on others to motivate you, that is temporary. But if you're able to self motivate yourself, this is what will remain consistent. And to me, consistency is the key in anything and everything you do. And I think I keep telling the team that always, if you want to be successful, everything that you do well, make sure you do it consistently. Um, and of course, we absolutely keep the team motivated by recognizing the efforts that they put in, a lot of the tasks and responsibilities they look after.
So, Naif, how do you maintain calm and composure in a high stakes pressure customer experience situation that you are uh, part of?
As you rightly described it, you can understand that every day we deal with different, people, and I think some of the things that help me, you know, keep that in place is uh, definitely working out, because every day, once you're done with a stressful long day, you go and clear your mind with doing something you like, and I think sweating out all of this, negativity in your body and everything that comes in is something that always helps me.
So, yeah, take care of your body and it will take care of your mind, right?
Absolutely.
So, what advice would you like to give to someone who is starting their career today?
Invest in yourself, your health, your growth, definitely your relationships, be it your family, your spouse, and if you manage to do that well, you will be able to succeed.
Looking at the conversation that we have had so far, I see a continuous learning pattern. I see resilience. I see growth mindset. And I see the attitude of never giving up. So, in your opinion, how important is learning, the continuous learning rather, in making sure that you stay on track?
No matter where you are or where you sort of reach, it's never the end, and it always will unlock new set of challenges. And I would like also again to link this back to the mentality I developed as being an athlete. Resilience comes from the ambitions that you also develop over time. Let's say a club is winning the World Cup. Does that mean that this is the last time they will win the World Cup? No, they will always again shoot for another World Cup win, and that's how I keep my mind focused towards, because whenever you achieve something, you unlock something else, and you continue learning. And the only way you will be able to achieve these things is through learning and continuous learning.
So, Naif, this brings us to the last round of this podcast. It is called Lightning Round, and you could choose to give short, simple, sweet answers, or you could explain it further as well. So, we'd start off with a book that has changed your life.
Definitely Surrounded by Idiots, because it was talking about understanding people, different types of people, and how you deal with them and whatnot.
So, Naif, what is one habit that is non negotiable for you?
I would say self-reflection. I always like to every day self-reflect on how the day went and what I've done and what I could do better.
Last round, last question. What is one word with which your friends would describe you?
I don't know if my friends would describe me with this, but I would hope that I would be described as someone who's grounded, um,
Humble.
humble and grounded, because no matter what happens in this life, at the end of the day, uh, you are who you are.
Well, thank you so much, Naif. It was real pleasure hosting you here in Masters Unplugged studio, knowing the fact that you had a very hard or challenging start to your academic journey in USA to what you have achieved now as head of direct transport custom experience head at Maersk Saudi Arabia. It takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of mental toughness, it takes a lot of mindset clarity to achieve what you have set to achieve. And I am personally inspired by that. And I'm sure our viewers would also be inspired. Well, thank you so much, Naif. It was a pleasure hosting you here in our studio.
Thank you, Khalik. It was a pleasure being here with you, and I appreciate this. Thank you so much.